But for one contestant, something went terribly wrong.
Kimberly,
Coming up, 16 shell-shocked contestants weigh in. And someone's journey will end tonight.
Quick disclaimer, this reaction is to a extreme weight loss show that promotes extreme exercising and dieting. We do not encourage or promote extreme methods shown. Consult with a physician before beginning any weight loss plan. Hello and welcome to the Creation Motivation channel. And today we are going to be talking about Biggest Loser. I just want to be sharing these motivational videos that I'm watching. I watch usually when I am working out, and things that I found motivating or strange or not so motivating. So this is the continuation, episode 1, part 2 of season 8. It's continuing on from the last one. They were doing the flight or fight workout, and Shay got really overwhelmed. And I know that feeling when you're doing a workout again, when you're first starting out your journey and you're working out and you're pushing yourself. If you're out of shape, it's really painful, actually. I just started doing a new workout routine with my family. They conned me into it. It's called Insanity. You've probably heard of it. It's from the 2000s, back in the day. And it's a really, really tough workout. That's why it is called Insanity. And family wanted to try it out. They asked me to try it, so I did. And it's painful. It's actually painful. So it's one thing to start walking every day, or, even start jogging lightly, just kind of slowly pushing yourself into it. It's one thing to do that and feel that calorie burn and get warmed up and pepped up and hyped up. And it feels hard, of course, but it's not painfully hard. Of course, it could be, I'm sure. I mean, of all these shows I watch, especially 600 Pound Life, just getting up and walking can be very, very painful. So it all depends on your weight. If you're at a really low fitness level and you jump into running really fast or doing HIIT, hit interval training, if you jump into these crazy workouts, it's actually gonna go against you. I'm not a professional or anything. I say that all the time, but in my opinion, it's gonna go against you rather than help you, because you're going to injure yourself, or maybe you won't injure yourself, but it'll be such a negative experience and so painful that you're going to want to give up, right? Or you're not going to want to do it again the next day. So you do need to find this balance between it. You need to find a balance between, working out at a pace that your body can handle to help strengthen you so that at a later date you can handle more and build up to the crazier things. So going back to the episode, because I'm rambling, Shay gets overwhelmed, and I feel for these people. This is their first major workout.
good. And Jillian and I yelling, Dana, come back, Dana.
That's right, Alan. You're going to be my boost this whole season, aren't you?
Let's go.
Maybe they were walking at home or trying to get fit themselves, but at a leisurely pace. And they're thrown into this crazy workout with these trainers yelling at them, in most cases screaming at them, telling them they have to do this and push yourself and no breaks. Do not take a break. Come here and do this. And you have to listen or else you're going to get screamed at. And, she got overwhelmed. She goes outside. She has her emotional moment.
I've never quit in my life. And so I went outside and I was thinking of everything they said, and I was thinking of everything I was feeling. And I realized if I stop now, nothing's going to change.
And it's kind of framed in the episode like she's having this kind of whiny tantrum. Maybe a little bit. Okay, I have had my own tantrums with working out where I didn't want to work out and I complained about it to myself and pouted in my mind. But from what I said earlier, she was probably in a lot of pain. There's a point where you're so out of breath you can barely breathe. And in a lot of cases, people will get anxiety from it because they feel like they're physically ill, like they're dying even. They can't breathe and they're out of breath and their heart is beating so fast. And I have felt this too. And sometimes you're sweating a lot and you feel like maybe you're having heat stroke or you might even pass out. And for the most part, maybe 80% is anxiety only. But at the same time, if you're so out of shape and you're jumping into these workouts, yeah, it can be that you are overexerting yourself by a lot. So it's just something I think about when I watch this. I really do love this show, but I'm going to state again, these views that they are pressing on these people aren't 100% normal views and not the view I would take, not the way I would attack working out and losing weight. I totally believe in slow and steady for the long term and permanent weight loss, but that's a whole other side tangent. So anyways, they're framing this poor girl, Shay, as throwing a tantrum, and Jillian even says, don't give attention to her negativity. And it's true, if it is a true tantrum where she's trying to be the victim, you shouldn't give attention to that. But at the same time, I'm conflicted because of, what I was saying earlier. Maybe she just really needed a break. And sometimes that's all you need. If you are working out and you feel bad and sickly, sometimes just a short water break is all you need. Going back to the workout I'm doing, Insanity, he gives water breaks after every interval. And thank goodness for those water breaks, because I would give up immediately if there were no breaks. I think most workouts do have breaks. And who knows, this show, we don't see everything. Maybe they do give them breaks. We just don't see the whole picture. I try to be neutral on everything and give these shows a shot. But moving on, Shay does eventually come back in, and after her break, she gets back on it. They're doing this climbing activity, ladder. I guess she was afraid to do it. She thought she couldn't do it. And Jillian's telling her, don't be the victim. You're not a victim. And it's true, a lot of the times we do fall into this mental space where we feel like we're a victim.
Now, Shay, stand up and look at me. Now, stand up and look at me, Shay. What just happened?
I did it.
Was that so hard?
Yes.
And this can bring us down. This is linked to what I was talking about in another video I did, where your confidence of believing that you can do this just goes out the window because you view yourself as a victim. You view yourself as, oh, woe is me. Look what I've done to myself. Look how big I am now. How am I ever going to get back? I'm just stuck like this forever. And no, that is a victim mentality. You really need to be your biggest cheerleader to have permanent results, right? Well, I don't know how Shay is feeling. I don't know if she's being a victim. She flat out says, I'm not a victim. So good on her. And she gets on it and she does the workout. And Jillian's like, was that really so hard? And yes, it definitely was hard. But it did seem like she did it very easily after that break. Whereas before the break, she was to the breaking point where she just couldn't do it. So I think the break did help her and put her back in the right headspace. And Jillian's like, well, we're going to do it again. And she's just like, no. Oh, I felt that pain. I feel that pain. With interval training, I think you're done. But then there's another one coming and you're like, oh, I cannot do this. I thought that was interesting and motivating, but also a little bit too much at the same time. Later on in the episode, they do what they usually do in every season, and they go have the contestants visit the doctors and they talk about their health problems. They have tests done just to show where they stand. And then later on, towards the finale, they'll go back and see if there's been improvements. And there 100% always are improvements after losing weight. It's just a fact. But what struck me in this part was the one contestant, Sean. He is kind of on the younger side, but he does have a family as little babies. And he's talking to the doctor and he's like, well, I'm pretty healthy for the most part, because you view yourself as very healthy. You're very confident in your health when you're young, right? And it just struck me. The doctor told him, you have type 2 diabetes. And it was such a shock to him.
Question, how can somebody that's got over 300 pounds of fat write on a medical questionnaire, no medical problem?
I don't know why I put no medical problems.
Do you have any medical problems?
I don't have type 2 diabetes or anything like that.
Sean, you do have type 2 diabetes.
He wasn't aware of it at all. He had no symptoms. And type 2 diabetes definitely can and will sneak up on you. It doesn't matter your age. If you're that high of a weight, you're going to be at a risk factor. If you're eating a ton of sugar every day, you're gonna be at risk. I have been pre-diabetic several times. I'm hoping that I've turned it around on this journey. And like I say in my username, it's lose and maintain. I want this to be the time where I lose and maintain the weight, because so many other times I've lost and lost and lost, but I've gained it back every time. And my health has gotten worse every time, because you're putting your body through so much stress by losing the weight and working out and exercising, but also getting healthier. But then you're jumping back up again and your body's just doing this yo-yo. And I know it's not good. I know it's not. And it was just shocking. I went to the doctor. They told me I had issues with cholesterol, high blood pressure, those cuffs at the store like Walmart or Walgreens or wherever. I was with my daughter, and just for laughs, we're like, let's do this. And I did it. And it was extremely high. That was at my highest weight. It was shocking. And I went to the doctor, got blood work done. My cholesterol was higher than normal. And it just put me in the zone. And that's what really restarted this journey for me. Of course, that was 2 years ago. I lost the weight and then gained it back again. Don't get me started on that. I am rambling already. But yes, it is true. This can sneak up on you. Diabetes, this snuck up on him. He could not believe it.
You had asthma because you had so much weight here in the stomach. It was shoving up your whole gastric contents up into the esophagus, and then a little bit of that was dripping into the lungs, and that's what you were wheezing from.
Another contestant was told, I think it was Shay actually, that she had asthma that was completely aggravated solely by her obesity. Just the amount of weight pressing on her organs was so much. She is the one that is the highest female weighing contestant of this season. And all that weight, the doctor said, it's pressing on her organs and it's pressing on her lungs so much. And even they said that it was dripping in her lungs. That sounds mortifying. And it's crazy how so much of your health is based just on your weight. And a lot of these issues later on in the show, when they show them at their lower weight, they'll say that they're off all their medications and almost all of their symptoms disappear. All of their problems almost just disappear just because of their weight. And you don't think about that. You gain weight and you get to these higher weights, right? And you get sick and you don't connect it. And I know there's a whole problem with the medical community where they will just blame all of your issues on your weight. It is a real problem. People think it's a conspiracy, but there are, in fact, a lot of offices out there that will jump the gun and say your symptoms are based on your weight. It could be an actual, real severe illness, and they will say, oh, well, if you lose weight, this will go away. Maybe, that's maybe, but sometimes they genuinely need to be treated in a medical manner with medicine. Even losing weight, you will need treatment. So there are times where that happens. I'm not going to get too much into that right now. I want to keep this short. But it's crazy how these things can sneak up on you. And then when you lose the weight, a lot of the times these will disappear. But we have to incentivize ourselves. If we lose the weight, we're going to be healthier. Hands down. Maybe some people won't. But if for the most part, you are going to feel a difference. So to wrap this up, at the end of the episode, they have their way in. Tracy is still in the hospital because after that stunt where she was not prepared for it, she was thrown into this crazy mile race in the hot sun. It's at the beach, so maybe it's not that hot, but still. She ended up in the hospital. Also, Mo is in the hospital. They ended up being put on together as a team. He came back. He had had issues with his blood sugar and low blood pressure. He had come back. Everything fell on his shoulders in the weigh-in because he had to weigh in for both of them. And all of the body percentage was left on him. And it's crazy that she was still in the hospital. I'm waiting to see what they say happened to her, like a diagnosis, because that's a long time to be in the hospital. Most hospitals, they don't keep you that long, especially if it's minor. I mean, I've gone to the emergency room. They usually don't even keep you in. They just treat you and you leave. So we'll see what they say about that. At the end of the episode, they weigh in. There was a really motivational moment where Abby weighs in and she's just so proud of herself and so happy. And she's just such a motivating contestant because she went through so much, and to be there and focused, and it's just motivating. She even says that giving up is easier. She would rather have given up. That is easier than pushing and being there and doing these changes and changing your mentality. So it ends with the black team. By the way, spoilers, the black team gets voted out. Mo, his percentage, all he had to do was lose 12 pounds, and he blew it out of the water. He blew like 19 pounds. So the black team got voted out. Julio did have a lower loss. And that's the thing. These people losing weight and weighing in, you're going to lose at different rates. People's hormones are different. People are built differently. Height plays a big factor in it. Even your gender plays a factor in it. That's more hormone related, though. But that was the end of the episode. The twist here, which I was not expecting, they voted off Adriana. I really liked her. She was the greatest contestant. She was working out. She was at it. She didn't complain hardly at all. Jillian was pushing her to her max.
Can't run like this cop. Get away in.
Jillian came after me during the last chance workout.
Straight arm and pull. No ow. No ow. I don't want to hear ow. Ow. 2 more. I wasn't really focused.
Nope. Okins.
Can I do this?
She comes from a single parent family, I believe, and she's got a lot of pressure on her shoulders. And a lot of people didn't want to vote her out. They voted out Julio. Abby, my favorite, she voted for Adriana. And I really don't like the gameplay. I don't like how people backstab each other. I know it brings views and ratings, but I try to focus more on what motivates me and what is touching about the show and what inspires me. But that's how it ends. And this is getting pretty long. So I'm going to leave that here. Do your baby steps. You don't have to max yourself out like these contestants. Just take a walk, read a book while walking. Well, that's harder, but if you're on the treadmill, you can read a book. I like to do that. I enjoy watching something. I like just enjoying the workout, because the more you enjoy it and learn to enjoy it, the stronger you're going to get. You can handle harder workouts, and it'll stick with you for life because you enjoy it. So I'll leave it on that note. Have a wonderful day. Happy goal getting. Bye-bye.